покажем за нашу свободу і покажем, що ми браття козацького роду.
Слава Україні! The words in this hymn, they're over 200 years old, and the words, the translations here is, we are put our soul and our bodies for our freedom. And right now it's literally is going on there in Ukraine. And I want to support the warriors of Ukraine who's fighting and putting their lives to protect the land, to protect the kids, to protect their homes, to protect their country. Слава Україні! Україна єдина!
We can't just stay like this. We need refugee status for Ukrainians here in the United States. We need a no-fly zone. This is not a fair fight. Putin will not stop unless we get more involved. The United States is already involved, whether we like it or not. We cannot base our choices upon fear, but on faith in what we know is right. If we are called to action, these are the most sacred reasons to be called to action. Tanya's neighbors, friends, and family, and other people here that have family in Ukraine, they're fighting for their apartment. They're fighting for their schools. They're fighting for their hospitals, neonate units that are huddling down in basements. This is not a fair fight. We cannot just stand by. We need to show our support. This is how we start, but it needs to grow. It needs to get bigger. There are people tonight who will not be able to sleep. They will not know where they're going to sleep or whether they'll even wake up. There are others here huddled in our safety in our beds that cannot sleep either, because there's an interconnection between people across the oceans, whether it's family ties or just human decency. But there are those of us who cannot sleep because we know the horrors of what is being done to the innocent in Ukraine. So we're going to walk. When we come back, if somebody has something to share, the mic will be open. Said to let's walk, and now we're gonna not. We're going to take a few more minutes here. Sorry, a little premature on saying we're going to go for a walk. There's more people arriving. At this time, if you have family that's in Ukraine, hold on one second. We got a few more people that are coming that want to be a part of the walk. Can we get a show of hands of how many people here have family, friends in Ukraine right now? In the last 5 days, all of us have been a part of a network. People needing connections, rides, getting picked up in one place, stages of trying to get people to safety. Encourage and let people know that they're not forgotten. So everybody raise your hands again so everybody around here understands that this is an American issue. Get connections. Talk to people. It has amazed me how just knowing one person, an acquaintance who knew an acquaintance that could pick somebody up on the way to a train station. You know, Tanya's parents, we had attempted, there were several attempts to get them out of Kyiv. And it was that young woman, Taika, with her young children, who picked them up. We have not even been able to hear the details of what they had to go through in order to get to that train station. But I want to honor this young woman. The men that, from their church that were going to do this, they ended up having other situations that we can't even imagine. We don't even know why those other plans did not work out. And that young lady, she gets my wife's parents to the train station, and they're trying to get to safety. And they got on a train, an earlier train than her parents, and that train's route was bombed. And so then their journey went to walking. And you know, the incredible feats of humanity. The best part of humanity seems to come out in the worst situations. And strangers in that countryside are helping that young woman and her 2 children get to the Polish border. She risked her life and her children's life to help Tanya's parents get to a train station. Tanya has a friend who, just 4 neighbors, guys she had never met, a little foul-mouthed, maybe drink a little. These were the guys that stepped up when Russian soldiers were trying to kick in doors and take people out. And these guys did not stop. They pushed those Russian soldiers out of that apartment complex that day. There is story upon story upon story. This is just what we're hearing. Sometimes the news was coming in so fast, and what we've been hearing just before we came here is I don't even want to say on the air. Let's stop this war. Let's show Ukraine that we love them. Let's stand up for democracy. Everyone that you see in Russia that is getting arrested, they just upped the charge to 15 years in prison. 15 years in prison for doing what we are doing right here. And this is in Russia. So when you hear of 5,000 or 6,000 people getting arrested, keep in mind that's 10 or 15 years of their life. And that's in a prison system that's not one you often live that long to get out of. We have a chance to make a difference, and right now it's imperative that we pay attention to the details. So when those family members or that friend reaches out, we do not want to get rid of their hope. We do not want to do anything that's going to cause their hope to be diminished. They need to know that we're going to stand with them and that we're going to love them through this. And that can come in many different ways. Was it yesterday, honey, when those twins, those newborn twins, lost their parents? Their parents were fighting for their babies. They were fighting for their babies. And those babies are now orphans. But people are stepping up in many different ways. And that's what we're asking each person here to do. There's going to be your own way to show support. We need a clear line of evacuation for the women and children that are not active in the combat, for the elderly, and that is in jeopardy today. Let's hope that changes. I've spoken enough about this. There's people here that know much more about it than me. Does anybody want to take the mic? Please.
Sorry. Hello, my name is Andrew Simmons. I am one of the Tanya's singing students, and for 3 years of my life I lived